All right, we're going to change the oil on Diggy Smalls and put her to work. Enjoy. So we're at the back here and we're going to try to do an oil change. And yeah, you can see some Chinese engineering here. So we got our back end here, which this one's nicer than most of them because it actually has a latch. Some of them are just bolted and you have to take the whole thing off, but it's a little off. You know, you can see the gap here, no gap there. And when you bring it off, you have to lift it up to get it over this instead of just the latch. And you can see it's pretty wonky over there, and we got our rust there. So we'll coat these things with some WD-40 and whatnot. But we're gonna do an oil change, and I think the bolt is down here somewhere, and obviously the filler. So this has to come off. At least it's not plastic; it is metal, not very thick metal, but it's metal. So we got a couple bolts there. We'll take that off and see what it looks like back there. All right, so we're gonna change the oil here, and it looks like we gotta take this back piece off. Open this up here, but yeah, you just can't access it. So it looks like there's a couple bolts here. We'll take this off. Super long bolts. I don't think they need to be that long. Make sure that's not cross-threaded. It looks like it probably did. Should be able to take it off, but it looks like these are sitting too far over, kind of holding it in there. So we'll take these bolts out here and see if that loosens this up to take this off. Bummer. Yeah, I just scraped some paint off of that trying to take it off. Oh well. All right, bringing it down here into the engine. Here's the bolt you have to undo to change the oil, but if we undo that, the oil is just gonna spread out all over the place here, and that's not good. So we got to figure a way to divert it out here and put a pan down here. So what you can do is get a tube with threads on one end and a bolt on the other, so it basically extends it out, and you can undo it here. I'm going to get one, just don't have it right now. So I think I'll put some foil down here and kind of make a chute down into a bucket here and see if that works. We're tilted this way a little bit, so we'll put the hydraulics up and get it to lean back this way. And we got these rubber stoppers here, and I just had these over here and I touched it and it came off. So good luck trying to get this back in here. I can't tell if that's where the bolts go, if the bolts go here. So maybe I'll just get some sticky adhesive and get that put on there. So anyway, let's work on this. Get some oil out of here. And then the dipstick's right here. Right now it's kind of leaned forward, so I can't tell if it's registering or not. Yeah, that seems pretty drippy, so there's probably some gas in there. Like I said, you got to change this oil out right away, so let's do that. Although I got to start the motor again to tilt it back, so hopefully it'll be all right. Yeah, it will. But anyway, we'll do that. All right, we'll see. This tape probably isn't going to stay on. We'll probably get some a little bit in there, but as long as we can get most of it out of here, I think we'll be all right. Oh yeah, that is not, oh my god, that is gray. That is not good looking. I don't know if that's normal look for break-in oil. Is that normal after just an hour, just less than an hour's worth of running? The guy I bought it from was like, oh, don't worry about it, change it after like 5 hours. Yeah, I don't know about that. Probably wouldn't have an engine left. But we'll put some legit oil in here and hopefully everything's all right in there. Well, we got a fair amount of it out, but obviously, once it slowed down, it went behind the foil because it wasn't fully taped. And we got a bunch in here, but could have been worse. All right, I couldn't lower it because I didn't want to turn it on. So I just used this good old thing called the jack, but unfortunately, it's only jacking it up like this instead of like this because we have a lot of weight on the bucket back there. But at least if we can get this back end up enough to where at least I can get a cord in there, and we'll be all right. A little janky, but I got VR1 racing and classic cars. It's got a lot of zinc in it. I think that's good. We'll find out. And on the internet, I've seen anywhere from 0.875 to 1.1 quarts in these motors. Be nice to have an actual owner's manual on it. And so we'll put in about a quart, start it up real quick, level it out, and then check the dipstick. When was the last time you saw a little copper funnel? I think it's pretty cool. So let's see if this fits in here. Oh yeah, it fits in there, but it ain't gonna work for what I need. Okay, I was excited about my little copper funnel, but it ain't gonna work from the angles. I found this little red one in it. I think we'll be all right with this one. We'll get stuff in there with this one. So let's try it out. See how much I spill. All right, we got her all buttoned up, and I'm glad I didn't record it because it was not easy to get everything lined up. I might have cross-thread some things, so yeah, awesome. Anyway, it's time to fill up the gas now that the oil's all good, and the tank's kind of far down, and so I picked up this liquid transfer pump thing, a little battery-operated deal. So we'll stick this end in the tank, or the can, and put this end in the tank, and hopefully not spill anything. I think it was $17 from Jeff Bezos. And so we got some non-ethanol gas, which is what you want to do for these little motors if you don't want to blow them up. And I didn't change out the hydraulic fluid. I looked in it. It looks like it's just at the lower level here, but this is the top end of the tank, so I think it'll be all right. I looked in there. There's a screen, so I couldn't really check in there, but we'll use it a few hours, and then I'll take the whole top off and see what it looks like and go from there. But at worst, 15 hours, and we'll swap all of it out. But anyway, for now, we'll put some gas in there. Oh, well, that doesn't help. Son of a gun. What the yeah. Well, I guess we're just doing funnels and standard loading, and hopefully it doesn't drip everywhere. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay. I'm not recording this. All right, so putting the gas in was just as fun as doing the oil. It didn't go very smoothly, but yeah, I had to use like 2 funnels to get it way up here so I could go in there. I did end up spilling a little, so I'm gonna let it air out. I'm cooking some lunch, so we'll let this air out so that I don't catch my engine on fire the first time out. So, all right, yeah, look at that. I got a footprint there. It had to have been in the Chinese factory, I'm assuming, because how are you gonna step on the bottom side of a seat? Anyway, all right. We'll be back. I don't know. I'll probably tool around, not on camera, because I haven't used one of these in quite a while. So while I look like an amateur no matter what, I don't want to herky-jerky on camera until I at least feel comfortable doing it. So anyway, we'll catch you in a second. All right, moved her into place, got ready to do work, and then the hydraulics gave out, and this was going on. So we'll give you a breakdown of what happened. It was fun. So yeah, so I got the ignition on. Hour meter's not reading, and I figured out it's something over here. There's like a relay right here. It has a red light on it, so there's like a loose wire in here somewhere. I don't know if you can see the red light coming on, but you can hear the fan depending on how I move this. So yeah, we gotta figure out what connection's loose and figure out how to get it not so loose or whatever. Fun times. Wiggling things around, and whatever this is right here. Yeah, looks like we have a loose ground right there. So I think we just have to put that maybe on this side of it. So I just, where we at? So I just loosened this bolt, dropped this down, brought the ground on the front side of this this little, I don't know if it's a voltage regulator or something, and then tighten it down so it's in between here and this piece of metal. And yeah, this little cover that I'll put over the bolt, and hopefully it stays good. So I think that solved the problem. Let's check out the ignition here. Meter hour looks good. You can hear the fan. And I'll jiggle these wires like I did before, and nothing comes in or out. I don't know what this is. Probably an accessory or something. But we'll figure that out later. But for now, it looks like we're good to go. So yeah, yay. All right, so just keep in mind that the footage you just saw was 2 times speed, because man, these things are as slow as a turtle. This one sped up a little bit, but yeah, things were just too far apart to bother using the machine, so I just went out there and did it the old-fashioned way. But now we're back to Stump on, so enjoy that, and we'll do some more work. Enjoy it. take this load down to the pile. All right, we're moving some piles, and I found a good use for my front hitch on this truck, so it's a lot easier to move around a trailer from the front end because there's just one swing point instead of the back axle where it gets all complicated. So we're just kind of loading everything up from piles. I think we're going to bring them all down here. I called my local nursery that usually takes brush, but they said a couple of their machines are down, so they're not taking any right now, and the next farthest one is, you know, just not worth the gas. So we'll stack them up here and let them compost over the years and let people pick through them if they need some firewood. So that's what we're doing here. Good times. Well, there she is. She got a few stumps up here. We got a couple down there already earlier. This one gonna be a little tricky because this bad boy I think is all one stump, all three, 1, 2, 3 of those trees. So if I can get it separated here somewhere somehow. I don't really want to take the chainsaw too because a lot of dirt, so maybe I'll do something unconventional. Take a pressure washer to it and kind of blast all the dirt out of there, see if that helps, and then cut it. Although I'm about to get a new chainsaw blade because my other one cuts like a hot knife through steel, so it ain't doing so good because I hit some chains with that one that was embedded in a base of a tree. So right after I bought it, it only had like 3 cuts on it and then ruined it. But anyway, we'll get these down to the unloading zone and continue on. But I think that's enough show and tell for this video. A little quick one, so we'll catch you on the next one. Hope you all enjoyed it. And yes, if you're here for the excavator, channel's mostly about this house that I've rebuilt from scratch. So go on and check it out if you like. It was pretty brutal when I first got it. So, or just watch these ones because these little excavators are cool. All right, take care, y'all. Bye-bye.